Here's a little secret. The best way to get investment ideas is to follow the investment portfolios of successful investors. The United States requires all large investors to show the world every U.S. stock they buy and sell. This is a fantastic resource for the average investor. You can easily monitor the portfolio of, say, billionaire investor Warren Buffett. You can buy as he buys and sell as he sells. Warren Buffett's strategy entails patience and appreciation for the value of long-term investing. Even as stocks fall during the recession, he continues to buy. He made his fortune by purchasing great companies when everyone else is too afraid to. He's currently on a shopping spree. He has recently purchased 9 stocks. Let's take a look at the stocks Warren Buffett has bought and sold. Ally Financial Interest. Warren Buffett paid $774 million for 30 million Ally Financial shares. This represents 0.24% of their equity portfolio. He now owns 10.29% of Ally Financial's outstanding stock. The estimated purchase price for the investors is $1.26 billion, resulting in a 39% loss. Ally Financial and banks in general are having a difficult time at the moment, which is causing rising interest rates and a general economic slowdown. Wider spreads between interest paid to savings account holders and loans originated by Ally will improve profitability over time. It's a steal right now because Ally Financial shares are trading at only 0.7 times the company's book value. That is a very low valuation for a bank that is relatively secure. Investors should be encouraged by indications that Allies are gaining a share of the lucrative auto loan market. Buffett, it's possible that it's being oversold. Concerns about the auto loan crisis may turn out to be unfounded. If this occurs, the stock could experience a significant increase from its current trading range. Occidental Petroleum Corporation. Occidental Petroleum stock has been purchased by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway all year. He purchased it at both relative highs and lows. According to SEC filings, Berkshire Hathaway has increased its stake in OXY to around 21% in recent weeks. This comes after the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission approved Buffett's company's purchase of up to 50% of the available OXY stock. In a recent filing, he disclosed that he had purchased an additional 6 million shares. According to Reuters, the shares cost $352 million, implying an average price of $58.76. Because of the drop in oil prices, OXY fell far below its year-to-date average price, and Buffett seized the opportunity. Some speculated that Berkshire and Occidental had discussed the possibility of increasing the stake to up to 50%. Occidental has been the best-performing stock in the S&P 500, thanks to rising oil prices. Buffett's growing bet on Occidental has inspired a slew of small investors to follow suit, propelling it to the top of the retail stock list this year. During the second quarter, Apple, Berkshire's largest stock holding, received a boost as well. Buffett increased his massive Apple stake by 3.8 million shares, with the company increasing its stake in Apple by less than 1%, bringing his total investment to more than 894.8 million shares, worth a whopping $122.3 billion. Buffett made his first investment in Apple in the first quarter of 2016. Berkshire's Apple stake is now nearly 4 times the size of any of its other public stock holdings and accounts for nearly 40% of the company's total portfolio. Since Buffett began buying in the first quarter of 2016, Apple's stock price has held up well in 2022, and it has been a home run investment. During Berkshire's annual shareholder meeting in April, Buffett praised Apple's share repurchases as a wise use of cash. The Chevron Corporation. In the fourth quarter of 2020, Buffett made his first investment in Chevron, the world's largest oil company. The oil industry has been on a roller coaster ride since then. In the first and second quarters of 2021, Buffett reduced his Chevron holdings, but a global energy crisis and Russia's invasion of Ukraine sent crude oil prices soaring to 13-year highs in 2022. In response, Buffett increased his stake in Chevron by more than tripling in the first quarter and adding another 2.2 million shares in the second quarter, bringing his total stake to 161.4 million shares, worth approximately $23.3 billion. The company is one of Berkshire's 5 largest holdings and has a dividend yield of more than 3%. Chevron benefited from higher energy prices, reporting earnings of $11.4 billion in the second quarter of 2022, up from $3.1 billion in the same quarter last year. McKesson Corporation, a pharmaceutical and medical supply distributor based in Texas, increased its investment in the third quarter. Warren Buffett's stake in McKesson is currently valued at $1.24 billion. This represents 0.4% of their equity portfolio and the 24th largest holding. The investor owns 2.19% of McKesson's outstanding stock. The stake cost the investor $883 million, resulting in a 40% gain so far. Berkshire increased its stake from nearly 2.9 million to nearly 3.2 million shares. Berkshire Hathaway purchased 9 stocks in the second quarter, including Markel, a specialty insurance company. Berkshire increased its stake in insurance rival Markel by approximately 11% since the first quarter. In the first quarter, Berkshire purchased 420,000 shares for a total of $620 million. At current prices, the company added 47,000 shares worth $59 million, bringing its total position to nearly 468,000 shares. Paramount Global. In the first quarter of 2022, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway purchased 68.9 million shares of Paramount Global, which operates film and television studios, cable networks such as MTV and Nickelodeon, and the CBS network. Berkshire added another 9.5 million shares during the second quarter, bringing his total ownership to 78.4 million by the end of the first half of the year. Buffett now owns nearly 13% of this company's Class B shares, making him the most powerful shareholder. The Celanese Corporation. Celanese, a materials provider to the chemicals, paints, and coatings industry, has fallen 34% so far in 2022, far worse than the S&P 500's 19% drop during the recession. Buffett favors businesses that generate a lot of free cash flow and have strong positions in their industries. Berkshire took advantage of the opportunity, increasing its recently disclosed position to approximately 7.9 million shares at the end of the first quarter. Berkshire increased to nearly 9.2 million shares in the most recent quarter. Aside from his buying spree, Buffett has also been selling. Here are the stocks Buffett sold this quarter. General Motors Corporation. Berkshire Hathaway purchased General Motors stock in the first quarter of 2012. This was a little more than a year after its initial public offering following its bankruptcy restructuring. Buffett increased his stake in the company during the first quarter of 2022. In the second quarter, he reversed course and sold 9.1 million General Motors shares. After the sale, Berkshire still owns 52.8 million shares of General Motors stock worth more than $1.6 billion. Verizon Communication Services. Buffett sold his remaining Verizon Communications shares after selling more than 99% of his stake in the first quarter. Buffett had a master stake in Verizon worth more than $8 billion by the end of 2020, after investing in the company in the third quarter of 2020. Verizon appeared to be a typical Buffett value investment, trading at 8.6 times forward earnings and paying a dividend yield of 5.6%. Buffett, on the other hand, aggressively reversed course in 2022, selling 157.4 million shares in the first quarter and 1.3 million shares in the second. Are you following the same buying and selling strategy as Buffett? Tell us in the comments below.